the best. Tonight, members of Borno State House of Assembly denounced rumor over rift between Governor Babagana Umara and the legislature. Girl Child Concern takes back-to-school campaign to IDP's camp in commemoration of this year's International Adolescent Health. Ex-students of Maiduguri Capital School present brand new car to their teacher as an act of reciprocation. Plus, wife stabs husband to death in Maiduguri. If you noticed, I am economical with the words tonight. It is deliberate. I wouldn't want to let the cat out of the bag. So, I will urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy every bit of the program. I am your uncle, Abubakar Muhammad Musa. Let's now begin Sunday Magazine proper this way. Borno State House of Assembly had last Friday passed a vote of confidence on Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, putting to rest a mischievous online publication which falsely claimed rift between the chief executive of the state and the legislature. Speaker, Borno State House of Assembly Abdul Karim Lawan announced the resolution at a special session held at the Assembly Complex in Maiduguri, during which members of the legislature took turns to speak highly of Governor Zulum's series of outstanding government projects cited in their constituencies. Kaigama Mustafa Shehu, tell us more about what transpired concerning the mischievous online publication.
Speaker of Borno State House of Assembly Abdul Karim Lawan implied that the lawmakers were surprised when they saw an online medium reporting that the House had completed impeaching Governor Zulum, who is considered a role model of leadership all over Nigeria.
We are purposely here to debunk the malicious message sent by some mischievous social media, saying that we are moving, the Borno State House Assembly is moving to remove the governor. So I think it is very unfortunate. This is not the character of this honorable house.
Members of the legislature who took turn to speak disassociated themselves from the baseless rumor, noting that it is a handiwork of some mischief makers for their own selfish political interests, and pass a vote of confidence on Governor Zulum and his team.
Honorable colleagues, Borno State House of Assembly have been having a very cordial working relationship with the executive arm of Borno State Government under the cabinet leadership of Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, MNI, FNS.
We are not impeaching and we are not ready to impeach Professor Babagana Umara Zulum. Mr. Speaker, I want to use this media to tell the members of the press that Borno State House of Assembly is 101 behind Professor Zulum.
We did not intend to impeach His Excellency, and we will not. Therefore, this is just somebody sitting somewhere else and making this type of things for ambitions or whatever. Let that such a person wait till 2023 that we will confront him if he is serious to do so.
Mr. Speaker, as a Muslim, when wrong is done, when there is any wrong, the wrong must be corrected. And when the wrong is corrected, then the fabricator, the perpetrator, and the sponsor of this publication must be brought to court.
We deem it very necessary and important that we debunk this, not only at the press conference, but we came to the House so that the House will pass a resolution on the floor of the House that a vote of confidence will be passed to the governor, that the mischief makers will now know that the Honorable House is solely behind the governor.
Our governor, that is Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, is a role model to other governors because his work or his performance have spoken. As I speak to you, almost all of the 27 local government, I think he have visited all the local government once, twice. Some are even in the fifth, what do I call it, times of going to see what is happening. As I speak to you, my local government view, which happens to be one of the largest local government in Borno State, you know, he has done numerous jobs. I won't be able to, if I would tell you, we will spend almost the whole day.
The cordial working relationship calling on the public to disregard the mischief. The lawmakers further urge the security agencies to take decisive action to pitch out the perpetrators of such fake news and be prosecuted to serve as deterrent to others. A largely unknown online medium reported on social media that the assembly had attempted impeaching Zulum weeks back in what many considered a political move to stir controversy in Borno and heat up the politics.
And still staying with the legislature, members of the Borno State House of Assembly have condemned in strong terms the rumor making the rounds that the chief executive of the state will be impeached. The lawmakers had, during plenary, highlighted the giant strides recorded by the Professor Babagana Umara Zulum-led administration so far in every facet of development in the state, describing it as unprecedented in the political history of Borno. I'm meant to understand that this report is not ready. We might, however, bring it to you in the course of this presentation. Let's move on Sunday magazine now. Government and non-governmental organizations have been charged to involve women in leadership roles in all sectors of development. This was among issues that dominated discussion at a two-day workshop on women organized by Borno State Ministry for Women Affairs in collaboration with UN Women. Murjanatu Hassan was at Women Development Center, venue of the event, and now reports for Sunday magazine.
Which was tagged Leveraging Women's Leadership for the COVID-19 Response and Beyond, was aimed at enlightening women and other members of the society on women influence in responding to COVID-19 and preparing for a more equitable recovery across the globe. According to the organizers, UN Women and the State Ministry of Women Affairs are working with partners to make sure gender differential impact of COVID-19 is taken into account in the response strategies in the country.
I think women should not see themselves as second-class citizens. You must have the zeal, you must have the determination, you must be focused for us to achieve the goal. All the men can do is to give us support. We are complementing them. It's not a race, it is a partnership. And so if we understand this from the religious point of view, from the traditional point of view, I think there is room for everybody. And believe you me, women make good leaders because as mothers, they have that inbuilt intuition of being protective towards their own. And if you're given that responsibility, you apply that motherly love, and you see that the nation will move forward.
You can suggest INGO, Ministry of Women Affairs, government to come together and go into particular communities and create awareness for women inclusion in leadership.
They maintain that women are the helm of institutions carrying out effective and inclusive COVID-19 responses from the highest levels of decision-making to frontline services. Also, women are parents and caregivers to family members, which put them under stress and economic hardship. As such, call for total inclusion and paving ways for women to become leaders at various fields of human endeavors. Director General Sema Yabaokolo, Professor Patricia Donley, and other speakers at the occasion dwelt on issues and challenges of modern women and called for inclusion of women leadership in politics, workplace, businesses, media, to mention a few.
She stood on her own. Among who challenged the issue, so we forgot it later. In her material, as far as the entire temple, who challenged the issue. Even though the fact that the issue can get but when don't see us about the
some of the challenges that we outlined in the past are mainly institutions, traditional, cultural norms and values that has been inhibited in accelerating progress of women advancement and empowerment. But we have able to overcome some right from the Beijing platform of action on to the 25 review of that platform of action, but the progress is very low.
A lot of issues that hinders women from participating in politics, lack of finance, and the representation of women in governance who are going to work for other women to be at the top.
We may say there are religious challenges, but all these challenges are something that has always been advocated for by NGOs, by different bodies.
Challenges discussed that hindered women's dreams include multiple layers, diversities, ethnicity, culture, language, and religion. Some of the participants
and hopefully bring results so that we will see women included in leadership in the near future.
Domin al'adarmu dama babar mata a baya ba, domin kin ji masarauta muna da mata masu mukami kamar su ya maira, kamar su ya moram, kamar su ya gumsu, kamar su ya kurjulo ma ya doma duk wayannan akwai masarauta. A cikin la'anoi ma Borno akwai mata, a cikin bulamomi akwai mata, kuma suna taka rawan da ya kamata.
Durin da maskin naye na kasaswe mun tikra za yara yana ci gaba da yara yana dina kuma ya da faltina ilmu ba ma ai ma ci gaba pandemiya mun jin bau ilmun ba ma ci gaba din bau dalil adiyan ko monti maskin nanon yana montin za bau da am gayyen ya kranyen.
Women should, of course, be given their legitimate rights, considering the pivotal role they play towards the overall development of the society. Now, one good turn, they say, deserves another. It is in concomitance with this adage that the ex-students of Maiduguri Capital School, class of 2010, did not hesitate to present a brand new saloon car to their teacher, Malam Abubakar Muhammad, who is currently the vice principal of the school, for molding them to become who they are today in the society. Iyamaji captured the mood at Maiduguri Capital School over this historic event.
So the car key and the particulars. But before I hand it over to you, I think we should take a ride.
Maiduguri Capital School, which has been in existence for over 3 decades now, was established basically to impact Western and Islamic knowledge into the young generation. The school had its first graduating student in 1999. Since then, it has continued to produce qualified students till date.
We present this to you. Congratulations.
Presented a brand new Nissan Salon car to the beneficiary, Mala Abubakar Umaru Fusara, who is also the vice principal of the school. Director of Maiduguri Capital School, Engineer Lon Abo Kilbe, described the development as highly commendable, stressing that it will go a long way in motivating other teachers to be committed to duty and call on other students to emulate the good gesture done by the ex-students of Maiduguri Capital School, class of 2010.
After your studies, you looked for permanent jobs, you are able to take care of yourself, your parents, by extension, even your teachers. Let me congratulate you for that feat.
Engineer Lan Abo Kilbe, while highlighting the series of contributions of Maiduguri Capital School sets, many sets have contributed immensely to the development of this school, with infrastructure and other educational materials. He described the donation of a new car, one of his teachers, as first of its kind in the history of the school, and call on teachers and students to live up to expectation.
If others would sustain it, that is left for the others. But we are grateful to these ones for remembering the contribution this teacher has done in their life 11 years after.
President of 2010 alumni of Maiduguri Capital School, Abdul Hamid Ali Abubakar, emphasized the importance of Maiduguri Capital School for making them whom they are in the society and assured to sustain such gestures.
Statement our teacher made, he said that when he saw a lot of cars parked outside the school premises, that shows that how successful the students are now. So from that motive, we drive to see that what we can do to make his dream come true. We'll visit IDPs and the rest. We are trying to make the MCS 2010 class has a foundation so that we can see what we will be able to help our community.
The beneficiary, Mala Abubakar Hussara, was full of gratitude to the donors and expressed his feeling this way.
Feeling great. I'm feeling very, very happy that my students have acknowledged the impact that I've made in their lives, and today they have come to honor the mentorship, the leadership, purposeful education that I gave them. I'm indeed very grateful for them.
Farida Muhammad Munkaila threw light on the creation of the association, saying it is designed to reach out to the needy, such as orphans, widows, and less privileged members of the society, and assures to do more to the people in their time of needs.
Based on our reunion, after we had our 10 years reunion after graduating from secondary school, we decided to gather all together to see each other's faces and contribute one or two things to the school authority. So when we came all together, when our teacher Mala Abubakar gave his speech, all of us got so emotional that we decided to see in a way we can help actually. Then we decided to start making contribution, and then that was what led to this.
Malam Abubakar Muhammad is indeed a pace setter. Sunday Magazine is hoping that you are still enjoying your brand new Toyota Saloon car. A big congratulations to you once again. Let's take you back to our earlier story where we said members of the Borno State House of Assembly have condemned in strong terms the rumor making the rounds that the chief executive of the state will be impeached. The lawmakers had, during plenary, highlighted the giant strides by the Professor Babagana Umara Zulum-led administration so far in every facet of development in the state, describing it as unprecedented in the political history of Borno. Kaigama Mustafa Shew's story is now ready.
This particular plenary by members of the Borno State Assembly was basically to deliberate on a mischievous online publication which falsely claimed beefs between the state legislature and Governor Babagana Umara Zulum.
We, the members of the Borno State Assembly, passed a code of complaints in leadership style of Professor Engineer Babagana Umara Zulum, the executive governor of Borno State.
The motion concerning the matter was moved by leader of the House, Dige Mohammed of Kala Balge, who described the issue of the impeachment of the state executive as baseless and a calculated attempt by mischief makers to cause confusion, calling on the legislature to continue to give its total support to the governor.
Welcome in the town, the nation, and worldwide. One love that I know that the House will adjourn its sittings on the first day of April 2021.
The leader made it clear that Borno State Legislature has never made such comment or any move for impeachment of the chief executive of the state. Other legislators, while reaffirming their loyalty to the present administration of Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, enumerated some of the achievements recorded by the Borno State governor within 2 years in office, especially the ongoing onslaught against Boko Haram terrorists. Some of the lawmakers on their part maintain that the governor has achieved a lot in the area of provision of healthcare facilities, education, agriculture, construction of road network, as well as the resettlement of internally displaced persons back to their ancestral homes.
In terms of education, health, and security, we do a lot. We are here for the people, we stand for the people. Therefore, on behalf of myself and this honorable house, we are solemnly behind His Excellency the President of the State and good people of my constituency.
Mr. Speaker, if somebody outside House of Assembly and then sit down and then create this issue, we are Borno State is suffering for at least 10 to 11 years now, and then it is not even this one is we are still suffering these insurgencies, and now somebody is trying to even making propaganda and instigating the state, call on security agents so that they can dig in and then find it out and then brought this person to book.
We should all know that Romo, you don't have control over a Romo. People can go and say what they want, but it's not what you or we people have in mind. We have never said this, we have never intended to do that, and by the will of God, we will never do that.
Nobody in reception here in this house that has the intention or appending his signature to impeach Prophet Muhammad. We are all solely behind him.
If it is for political reason, there is no vacancy in the government house. Even in 2023. No vacancy in government house, even in 2023. Let alone.
Since we are elected into this chamber, there is nobody, no any member, states even single word with His Excellency Populous to impeach him. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are 100% with him. We are working hand in hand.
All we know, His Excellency did alert to us in our local government, and he did alert to our people. And we are here to represent our people. We see no reason whereby we will go against our executive government.
This house has no reason whatsoever to impeach the government of the state, Professor Babagana, because he's a performing governor and he has justified the confidence reposed in him by the people of Borno State. To some extent, some state governors are trying to take his leadership style. Therefore, to me, the perpetrator of this rumor is trying to create a kind of crisis between the legislature and the executive arm of government for their political reasons. And this is mere political antics, based on information, and we are all here to counter the fabrication going on social media.
Sunday Magazine is wishing the Chief Executive of the state long life and prosperity, especially in his quest to take Borno to the promised land. Away from issues regarding the legislature now, Girl Child Concern, GCC, keeping girls in school, strongly believes that according utmost priority to education of the female gender will serve as a panacea towards addressing the series of challenges bedeviling women in general. It is in the light of this that the program supervisor, Girl Child Concern, Ummul Khair Usman, deemed it imperative to lead other members on a campaign on the need for every girl child to have access to basic education as part of activities to commemorate the 2021 International Adolescent Health Week. Let me now take you to Shatima Ali Monguno Teachers Village IDP camp, where members of Girl Child Concern had an extensive interaction with women and girls. The main mission of the International Adolescent Health Week is to inspire adolescents and their communities to advocate for a successful transition into adulthood. According to Girl Child Concern, statistics have clearly shown that women, especially those that lack basic education, are always at the receiving end of present-day challenges, hence taking the school campaign to their doorsteps for optimum result.
We want each and every one of people we are gathering, if you are out of school, we want you to go back to school. We want people to take responsibilities. Taking responsibility will certainly help society to achieve whatever they want to achieve. So this is the step, and this is one of the things that we really want to achieve, to sensitize them, to know the status of the, actually they know the status, but to let them take ownership of what we are sensitizing, like I think to take ownership of all the responsibilities in a nutshell.
Other members of Girl Child Concern spoke at length on the need to break all forms of barriers preventing the female gender from going to school.
Achieve in the long run is to have more enrollment of the girl child to schools, and then to now develop their capacities, to develop their skills, and then to make them to become good citizens of this state and then of the country at large.
If you look at the IDP camps, just as we have observed, most of them are just devastated.
they don't care about their health, their issue of their health, body, and so on. So we are trying to sensitize them, give them lectures from experts to know how they should protect themselves and to value education of the female child, especially. Because if you look at female child today, they are mostly down and they are not encouraged. So we are trying to sensitize them and bring them up to know that education of the female child.
Na hudu mu iyayen mata muke sa ƴan matan mu su shiga talla. Daga talla sai ƴa mace ta fara inda za a yi mata abin da ake cewa faɗe, daga nan za ta yi ciki.
Ajiye ƴaƴa mata a makaranta. Banda ƴaƴa matan har iyayensu ma iyayensu din muna son su koma makaranta. To shine yau muka kawo ziyara a wannan camp domin mu faɗakar da iyayenmu mata akan cewa fa har yanzu bai yi latti ba. Karatun nan yana da muhimmanci gare ku. In ya zamanto kun yi karatun nan, ƴaƴanku za su amfana. Idan ƴaƴanku sun amfana, iyalai za su amfana. Idan iyalai sun amfana, zai zamanto cewa al'umma gabaki ɗaya sun amfana. While thanking GCC for the intervention, the women and girls asked series of questions on how they can continue their education in addition to how they can be enrolled. Members of Girl Child Concern were also at the College of Agriculture, Maiduguri, for a campaign against drug abuse, where students were charged to take responsibility towards becoming useful members of the society.
You stand the chance of destroying your liver, destroying your kidney, or even becoming addicted. And once somebody is addicted, it means he's under the control of that drug. It means that that person is changing his or her nature from human being to something like animal. As I'm speaking to you now, 2018 survey revealed that northeastern Nigeria has the highest cases of drug abuse as compared to other northern states. And that's only a conservative figure, because the survey, they didn't enter because of security. Other, insecure areas were not considered. So the number is alarming. It's a moral duty on us, the whole of us, our leaders, our religious leaders, our teachers, our parents, our friends, brothers, sisters. We just have to take this war because it is a war.
The theme for this year's International Adolescent Health Week is adolescent resilience in the face of a pandemic. Members of Girl Child Concern are absolutely right. Let the girls have access to basic education so as to strike a balance in the society. Now, Ansar organization has graduated over 50 women who have been trained on various skill acquisition programs towards empowering them to become self-reliant. The graduation ceremony, which took place at NLC head office, New GRA Maiduguri, attracted dignitaries from various ministries and organizations. Stand by for us.
Ansar organization is not governmental and non-profit making organization established to reach out to orphans, widows, and less privileged members of the society. Founder, Ansar organization, Aisha Mohammed Kari requested the association deemed it necessary to extend a helping hand to the needy by providing basic needs of the people to enhance their well-being.
It takes a lot kafin a yarda da ita ta zama to cewa wai mutane har sun karbe ta wai ita har ta kai ta kawo wanda har ta kai a yi magana akan ta ko a bata wani girma ko wani daraja. Wannan ba komai bane, lesson ne da na koya ni da kaina a cikin karatuna.
Aisha Mohammed Karidikwa further stressed that women need special consideration because of their situation in the society, reaching out to them and called on well-spiritual individuals and non-governmental organizations to come to the aid of the needy. Commissioner for Transport Dr. Abakar Tijani and Professor Musa Kida of University of Maiduguri emphasized on the importance of the training, which they explained will go a long way in alleviating their sufferings in addition to helping them to cater for their families.
My appreciation would be to appreciate them for acknowledging and appreciating the efforts of His Excellency because of his outstanding commitment and qualities to humanities, and award for the founder to see that things like that are not left to government alone, and for her to come up with this kind of policies to see how she can impact it positively to the state. We also appreciate her.
The beneficiaries is that they should utilize whatever they've acquired, the skills they've acquired to actually come up with so many things. We've seen a lot of good things that they were able to produce. So if they expand this business, I can tell you Maiduguri can be a center of exportation and attraction.
Representative of the Commissioner, Women Affairs, Zoera Gambo, spoke extensively on issues concerning gender-based violence and called on all and sundry to put hands on deck toward curtailing problems usually affect women and children.
Da ake na da kowane gida za ka samu an kawo yaro ɗaya ya tashi a gidan, da yau za a yi wannan abu a ce yaro ɗaya za a ɗauka ko da mutum biyar ne su haɗu su ce su ɗauki responsibilities na maraya ɗaya da widow ɗaya, da wallahi za mu mamanta, wani zai mamanta da wannan abu. To kuma insha Allah ta'ala tun da an fara muna kyautar zato za a manta da mace ta manta ma cewa ita widow ne, shi ma maraya zai manta cewa shi maraya ne in Allah ya yarda.
Chairman of the occasion, Comrade Bulama Abiso, Inna Galadima and Dr. Zainab Kelube spoke on the role of women in the society.
This is what we expect from individuals in our society, from companies in our societies, all that. I want to urge government to create market for these people. There are a lot of people who are having the skill, but if they produce, who will buy? And call it maybe a product of our IDFs. That will, every IDF, if he finishes, he will bring to that place and they will sell it and the proceed goes back to them.
Su Ummul Ansar din muna musu godiya sosai da yadda suka rike matan mu suna training ɗinsu, kuma ina fatan dai wannan training din zai sa matan mu su tashi su tsaya akan kafansu, dan abin da suka koya wannan insha Allah in su rike shi da muhimmanci zai sa su samu abin da za su tallafa yaran su, marayun su kai su makaranta da sauran biyan bukatun su na gida.
Awards were presented to some distinguished personalities and the beneficiaries.
Azara Ibrahim Mustafa.
The beneficiaries were trained on how to make pomades, room fresheners, as well as disinfectants, among others.
Thank you so much for Ummul Ansar. Kuma Allah ya sa abin da muka yi dinnan mu ci gaba da shi, kuma ƴan uwana ma su ci gaba da shi sosai.
Gode da mutanen da suka tallafa min, san abin da zan iya in ce musu ba, sai dai in ce Allah ya saka musu da alheri.
Sunday Magazine is saying there is no one like Ummul Ansar organization for the benevolence extended to those women there. Let's pause here on Sunday Magazine to bring you some weddings. Series of traditional activities in line with the Kanuri culture organized by the family of Borno State Commissioner for Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, Engineer Mohammed Kabir Wanori, in honor of their daughter, Aisha Kabir Wanori, and her hadro, Babaka Kajidda Aji, where many personalities showered encomiums on the father of the bride. Iya Maji has more on the part 2 of the wedding between Baba Kaka and Aisha.
Part of activities to commemorate the wedding between Baba Kaka and Aisha was the arrival of bigwigs at the Maiduguri International Airport. They were received by the father of the bride, Engineer Mohammed Kabir Wanori. They include Chairman Supreme Court of Obas, His Royal Majesty Oba Adekule Hamid Makamad Jitot and his entourage. Series of Kanuri traditional activities organized to mark the wedding wa Nalle Nya Dila Ferobojin Ganati Resap Ushaushe Nya Kalatul Ferozai Kaulu Kalawa and Dubdo. family of Borno State Commissioner for Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, Engineer Mohammed Kabir Wanuri, organized the series of traditional activities in honor of their daughter Aisha Kabir Wanuri, an undergraduate, and their son Illo Bakaka Jidda, a master's degree holder in Risk Management and Human Relations from Same University of Maiduguri. Invited guests and family members who came from far and near include Borno State Governor Professor Bana Umar Azlam, Borno State Deputy Governor Umar Usman Kadafur, APC State Chairman Alhaji Ali Bakar Dalori, President Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, Chairman Supreme Council of Obas, His Royal Majesty Oba Adekunle Hamid Makamadi III, lead other traditional title holders far away from southwest, all describe Engineer Mohammed Kabir Wanuri as a man of peace, proven integrity, level-headed, down-to-earth, and with the couple a happy home.
I am part and parcel of Borno. My history is inconclusive without Borno. We come here for marriage solemnization of our daughter because we consider our dear daughter. The Honorable Commissioner for Special Duty, he has a special place in my kingdom. I have a special place in His Royal Highness, the Shore Borno's place. He's a father that we respected and we pray may God continue to be praised.
Undescribable, very overwhelming. I really appreciate, and today it has shown to me by all and sundry that I am man of the people. So I sincerely thank each and everyone for that. My expectation from Aisha is to emulate the character of the family and his parent.
I should advise them to read a religious book on post-marriage life so that the marriage will be successful.
Engineer Kabir Wanuri is a very good person. He has friends all over the nation. The attendance has shown it clearly that he's a national figure.
Alhaji Muhammad Kabir Wanuri is like a junior brother, younger brother to me. We have been together for so many years and he has been a man of the people. He's a very good engineer and also a traditionalist as well as a very good friend of all the people.
Kokoliza kamanza understanding totally. Dai kurman abiro katendaro gaye. Kokoliza atmoza.
This indicates Engineer Kabir's relationship with the wider population of societies. So I am urging the couple to live in peace and harmony because marriage is the sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ.
Bakaka and Aisha expressed appreciation to their parents for always standing by them and promised to be good couple as expected by all.
Of advice to the couple to exhibit mutual understanding and moral rejuvenation. They should not involve third party in their matrimonial affairs. May Almighty Allah bless their well. Alhamdulillah. I wish them all the best.
Honestly, words cannot describe how happy Sunday Magazine is for the family of the Commissioner for Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, Engineer Mohammed Kabir Wanuri, for giving out their daughter's hand in marriage. Away from that now to another wedding, 28 March 2021 will forever remain a blissful and memorable day for the family of the Chief Imam of Borno State University, Imam Muhammad Abubakar, following the wedding ceremony of his children, Abdul Rahman and Mustafa. Umar Yakubu Kirawa was there for Sunday Magazine.
Aisha Sundumalin Kamalin Kamu Abdurrahman Bojna, Ali Shimana Narna Tapati, Alakani, Durian.
Wedding day is one of the most fulfilling moments in the life of an individual who has reached maturity stage. The joy and happiness of the family of the Chief Imam of Borno State University, Imam Muhammad Abubakar Kachalla, cannot therefore be quantified as friends, well-wishers, top-notch in the religious, traditional and political scenes, in addition to academicians and members of the business community gathered to witness the wedding ceremony of his children, Abdul Rahman and Mustafa. The wedding formalities were officiated upon the payment of 200,000 naira each as dowry.
na kalewa seletin na da inya da chaman sai ya ro tidia awro ni kamdro gutin da kanadi gota shima da yi ferado ni kuma ta da indinya sanna ferado sai ro tuna da amana sai ro to da yi amana da kalkalo saru
karasa nafsa awru no za nya so ru kalan zuno za awre sadiya kuma alai ardiyan sawan dinma shi da kalkalo sadu.
My advice to them is patience, patience, patience.
Kaga manzala sai ce ku ji tsoron Allah haƙƙin matan ka san lamarin babba ne. Saboda ka surke amana na Allah duk haƙoƙin mace da yake kansu su ba su.
Da ita da hangar gana zan gillara futu nim rashidi gulzana karo da roza.
The father is a responsible person. They should copy the behavior of the father.
A wurin galai na Canada kamar haƙƙi da fatu da anzuru ya shi maduno.
Angwaye da amuryoyi ba abin da za mu ce musu sai dai su ainihin dada hakuri akan ainihin zamantakewa na yau da gobe.
Kanadi kaman Zaragoza wani kun zaka mun soye katin zan ayi kam gari katin zar sakai am kuran zama wani katin ro sakai.
Allah ba su zaman lafiya na daya na biyu duk abin da ya faru su yi hakuri da zaman juna.
Sai kwaye kongaye num kon za su zumburu firai adan nashan zara ala su zumbur mar waldu ala sunna nabi ganga tumar an da san da san masu din
zakarun za kilzu ala sa san be zan da ala cin nahiro so sai ro furumzu.
Sheikh Abubakar Muhammad Abubakar Kakella mutumin kirki ne saboda mu'amalansa da mutane yau na zo na haɗu da wasu mutane da yake shekara 20 ba mu haɗu da su ba. To ni shawarar nake son ba yaran mu su ɗauki halin irin na babansu.
I have confidence with them. They are our imams. They are the one that lead us in prayers. We are going to miss them. This is one of the sad things, but I am happy with them. I am happy for them. I believe those brides, they are lucky.
Sauran kware hangal numa kamera nya shagade dole sai Kanadi tamiya.
May Allah bless their matrimonial home.
Mustafa is a humble and is a religious somebody.
My advice to them is to respect one another because marriage is a union that requires tolerance, respect and understanding.
Kanadi goza lamar da dina yiro. Shi lamar da chairman kanda kama kwaya da yadda ai Kanadi ba mu wajen ba.
Wayo kaji fantin da ada range misalin kimba kam zanna so nduron bawzin putu da kana kuya din.
The grooms, Abdurrahman and Mustafa, could not hide their overwhelming ecstasy and feelings of excitement for witnessing their matrimonial day.
Fero da alabara suke kukala kilena kwairo isina galte falmaroro karun izazi. Uda bi agultuma ba agulte ba sai biya karo kiji.
A aure mace dan abubuwa guda hudu limaliha lidiniya wali hasabiha wali jamaliha to itam tawon ita duka ta hada.
Kama mai yaudu kan gaya amda sallallahu alaihi wasallama ya guduna aljama'atu rahma jama'atu rahma almala bara su kaka da isa samnuwa da hadarzana imam da bornoe imam laisu imam da kuru idai bornoe imam shatima malama kura sun za takin no taro monji ba su lolotu gana diyelan ala kama da ala isa samma siru ala ilmu zaro bara dipsi ala nim huma umma yen ganji zal dauzan da ana made ala kaman da ala tawassu jama mi wodu na shakka mayelan a wodo bana sanna made gana gai sun zakan tamar mu jimba so nun go zanan kado alhamdulillah asrena zo maro.
Conjugal bliss to Abdurrahman and Mustafa. Sunday Magazine is equally rejoicing with the family of the Chief Imam of Borno State University. Let's move away from weddings now. Chairman Abadam Local Government Council Modu Aisami Jabulam is leaving nothing to chance towards ensuring that people of the area avail themselves in the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination to prevent them from contracting the pandemic. This is basically what prompted the chairman to receive the AstraZeneca Oxford COVID-19 vaccine at the of Legal and Islamic Studies IDP's camp, Maiduguri. Rebecca Bature, it's your turn now.
Modu Aisami Jabulam, while receiving the vaccine, employed people of the area to accept the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine in good faith, as government will not bring what will harm its citizens.
Martuno Cocolino Lara Gono. Our Casua Virgino, so Lord Monjina, multi Puriana Mangala, the commander Sur Mukwanda Sakana Wendenga.
kosa ka watare a wayan galofin fitina lare a da zamzana na kurkoso akalti na anduma na da ana wanda zai ana ile koso akalti su na da ile a gari ne kalti da ala su.
Secretary of the Council, Engineer Abubakar Aji, Director, Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Arzuka Isa Abadam, and District Head of Malampatu Rizan Abba, among other personalities, said the vaccine is meant to protect the people against the pandemic.
Among federal government, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NAPTACA, Sika Saksanama, AstraZeneca, Shimakamaigo. Shidi Kumafin Sidia, Ingayo.
LUM appreciated Islamic schools in Abadam and Mobar local government areas for organizing a joint prayer for peace, as it is the only durable solution to end the lingering insecurity. The chairman applauded Governor Zulum's quest to restore peace and return of displaced persons to their ancestral communities. Support in the restoration of peace and to promote unity among the people. Chairmen of Abadam and Mobar, as well as the principal officers of the two councils and stakeholders were at the prayer.
Our dear Kalakin, Sama so main de courage, my government, the Borne, Candles, and Nandri, Jamazimi, Tala, Karon was not legitimate, so more than the Lilla. Arian Gaulan, Soja, Naran, Sakuzan, Veterinarians, Buneva, Kozuar, Shimzandi, Pata, Waran, Venture Goza, Jaman Dasaka, Adi, Sakiso, Romora, Amar, Yalazabe, Kamuzabe, Fanzabe, Napkata, I can tell Tiwa, Chikara, and Napkata, and Soro Jindian, and Diana, and Yaboyan. Sekara was in the Kanari, Jangan, was somewhere in Naru, Sayar comes around, Saya was Nava.
That report has clearly shown that the chairman of Abadam is a leader par excellence. Now, the Association of Nigerian Authors, ANA, Borno State Chapter, celebrated this year's World Poetry Day in a unique way through poetry performances, musical acts, and dramatic sketches to the admiration of spectators depicting the beauty of arts. Abdugar Bazakari will now take us to the Elkanemi Hall of University of Maiduguri, where it all happened.
nan barka da boko haramiya kauyukan mu ana ta korafniya ga cikin birni ta da nakiya babu halin kai wani rakiya sai ka ganka halin damuwa.
The 21st of March each year is being celebrated as World Poetry Day, a day set aside by United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, to mark the aesthetics of language and cultural diversity embodied by poetry. As poetry is a unique and treasured form of cultural and linguistic expression, the Association of Nigerian Authors, ANA, Borno State Chapter, this time around organized a spectacular event of poetry recital, spoken word performances, including dramatic and musical acts in English, Hausa, Kanuri, French, and Yoruba, among other languages, to celebrate the day in a unique way. Chairperson, Association of Nigerian Authors, Borno State, Professor Razinat Mohammed, expressed appreciation to all dignitaries, performers and judges for coming together to share in their joy of celebrating their day.
And we are happy that this is the first time ANA Borno, Association of Nigerian Authors, Borno State Chapter, is taking part in this celebration. Now we are joining the rest of the world to celebrate this noble day that recognizes poetry. As you have seen in the hall there, our students and our guests have been able to put these special words into performances that are very, very breathtaking. Come next year, if Allah permits us to be alive, I want to see more girls, female participants, taking part in this noble cause, because as the world rejoices with poets, we want to see more secondary school. In fact, I think we will include secondary school and primary school pupils and students in this celebration next year, inshallah.
NTA Maiduguri Zonal Director Ishaya Uba Hanania, while appreciating the artistic performances of ANA, called on them not to relent in that regard.
I'm really happy. I've never attended this type of occasion before, but if I remember my olden days, in the university, in the analog university in the 80s, and comparing with what happened here, honestly, you people are doing better than what we did before.
They are really good. They have bring a lot of memories back, at least when we are youngsters. I see young, vibrant, interesting young men and women, and I'm very proud of them. I ask the young generation to imbibe the culture of reading, because we have lost the culture of reading. When you see a youngster sending you a text, you'll be surprised of what he's writing.
Poets and literary artists in Borno all showcase their talents and love for the art form to make a statistically diverse World Poetry Day.
Sunday Magazine is saying kudos to the Association of Nigerian Authors Borno State Chapter for revealing the kind of talented individuals we have in this part of the world. Now, listen to this one. Why do a marriage presumably characterized by love sometimes leads to death of one partner, leaving the perpetrator with feelings of disappointment and regrets? This is exactly the case of one Falmata Ali who murdered her husband in an IDP's camp in Maiduguri. Pauline Kujevana has more on the pathetic.
It is in this teacher's village IDP's camp that a 37-year-old Abanuma Boyoma and 25-year-old Falmata Ali agreed to love and live forever and ever as husband and wife, having been displaced by Boko Haram insurgents from Ngala and Kukawa local government areas respectively. A day after 1.5 years of marriage, which led to Abanuma Boyoma's death, was when he returned home from his Kekenape business to take breakfast, only to be attacked with a scissors beside his manhood by his wife, who claimed it was in self-defense over his aggressiveness on her for stopping him eat the food she provided.
Ya ce mana ina na shi sai na ce kai da kake ba mu abinci, sai ya dauki abincin ya zubar da shi. Zai je hura wutan shi ma. Sai na ce ba zai hura wutan ba tunda ya hana mu, ba zai dafa abincin ba. Shine sanadin da ya kawo mana fadan. Yazo yana mun duka, da ki daina duka. Makashin na soka mishi. Ba dan halina ba, ina so a taimaka min saboda yaran nan. A yafe min kuskuren da nayi. A gaya mahaifansu su yafe ni.
Abanoma Boyoma's matrimonial experience was the first, while for the wife, it was her third, and blessed with a son in addition to the 4 children she had in her previous marriages, all living with the husband in these tents. However, rumor has it that the attack probably came when the deceased announced his intention to marry a second wife, with a move to erect separate tents in the camp for the coming wife.
There was a time that he has reported to me that he needs to be relocated in this room to another site because his wife has been disturbing him a lot. When I came, then I saw him lying down. The blood is flushing out from his body. From that, then they took him to hospital.
Despite continued sensitization, continued education, continued trauma healing and counseling in the camp, that still we receive cases of gender-based violence, and this case is very cruel, very gruesome case. We cannot sit down and tolerate it as government, because as government we have responsibility constitutionally to protect lives and property of citizens. Despite the fact that they are displaced, it's not an excuse to misbehave or to commit any crime and offense and go free in the camp. I'm using this medium to appeal and to warn all the IDPs living in the camp. They goes into their hands. Whatever that is happening, they're supposed to report through the camp managers to my office.
The nursing mother, who is still in police custody, had the parent of the deceased appeal for the release of the 5-month-old baby to them.
I tried. Yaron nan sam ba su wannan yarinya ba wani yarinya da yake so. Problem da zan fada kawai dai su je su judgment a ce.
I told him what is the incident. He said, maybe she is pregnant, that's why she is moving up and down. I said, that is an usual thing. So from there, they are in a good term. They stay as a family. And then actually, it was the day before yesterday, just a sudden news come to us. I was not even aware. When my brother left, I was at my home. A friend phoned me that Abba Ganama had a stab by his wife. In our own sides, the father categorically stated that as his own, he has no any case, but the law has to take its course.
An investigation is ongoing. Once the investigation is completed, she will be charged to court. Always exercise restraints. Once you are angry, do not allow your anger to control you. Any attempt on human life is a serious crime in the Nigerian context and according to the Nigerian law. Nursing a baby, it doesn't stop the law from taking its course. She must be prosecuted.
Some may say the mariticide was for economic reasons, and others may ask, where is the love that binds them to live for better, for worse?
Different strokes for different folks, Pauline. But if you ask me, I would tell you that what Falmata ought to have done was she should have just quitted the marriage forever. After all, marriage is not a bed of roses. It's so unfortunate that the incident has happened. And on a sad note now, the death has occurred in Maiduguri of Mama Muada Muna Degree Samba Tarfa Dankano at the age of 106. She left behind 2 children and many grandchildren, among whom are Mrs. Esther Samba and Mary Abdul Karim, special advisor to wife of the Borno State Governor. Body of the deceased will leave State Specialist Hospital Maiduguri to Maximum Prison Christian Cemetery by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Still carried away by Falmata's case. And that brings us to the end of Sunday Magazine for today, the last edition in the month of March. Let's do it again same time next week when we shall be in the brand new month of April. On behalf of all of us here talking about the production team, I am Abubakar Muhammad Musa saying good night and God bless Nigeria.
Competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College short proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 19th April to 30th April 2021. 2 weeks. Audio Engineering, Operations and Maintenance. Date 19th April to 23rd April 2021. 1 week. Protocol, Event Management and Public Relations. Date 3rd May to 14th May 2021. 2 weeks. Intermediate Camera Operation Techniques. Date 17th May to 11th June 2021. 4 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 40,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all the courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
He wins with 1xBet. What about you? They win with 1xBet. What about you? He wins with 1xBet. What about you? He wins with 1xBet. What about you?
1xBet, bookmaker company.
gym. You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. He the form say he's happy. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh. But yeah.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Life is a game. We are cool. We are trendy. Energy moves us. Sports is our game, our oxygen. Because with the round leather we ball, we hustle. All over the land, north and south, we are united in the positive glory. We are encapsulated by HiFL. We live for the game. It's game time.
Showing on NTN Network.